And now, continuing on with our discipline series and our effort to get stronger mentally, physically, and spiritually this year. And today we're going to talk about exercise. Yeah. And this is a tough one to talk about because this is, like so many things, we're all in so many different situations. Some of us get more than exercise than we care to get just from our daily jobs or daily lives. And then myself, I get a lot of walking at work, but very little else. So, and we're all in different situations. But that's what we're talking about today. And the reason we're talking about it is because I feel miserable. I'm just getting over a cold and got remnants of a sinus infection, and I can't do nothing else. I haven't exercised. So let's talk about exercise today. Now, I want to say I have no idea what the best approach to take to exercise is. None. There's so many different thoughts on this, and again, we all need different things, but I can tell you what I'm working on. And for myself, I realize as we get older, it's a lot harder to build muscle mass. In fact, we tend to lose it. All right, so for myself, I'm getting older. So I want to work on building some muscle mass now because it's not going to get any easier going forward. And for any of you younger people, it's not going to get any easier going forward. So what I'm focusing on is to find a minimum level of fitness that I want to get to and maintain. Okay, so I'm not worried about trying to win Mr. Universe contest or trying to impress anybody or anything like that at all. I just want to hit that minimum level of fitness. Okay, for you younger people, maybe you decide on what a minimum level of fitness for you is higher than it is what I decide for myself. Okay, or any of you that's older. Hey, if you're older, you might still decide you want a higher level, minimum level of fitness. This is so individual based here. Okay, but the maintaining, that's the thing. I want to get there while I can and then maintain it for as long as I can. Okay, and for me, it's simple. I'm not going to go to the gym. I'm not getting into all the machines and everything else. I really like calisthenics, using my own body weight so that I can exercise when I need to. And as far as building muscle mass, by my thinking, there's 3 things we need to do, and that's squats, pull-ups, and push-ups. So push, pull, and squats. That's our major muscles right there. And I'm thinking for myself, I should be able to do 40 or 50 push-ups. Pull-ups, 10. I'm not gonna go all out there, but if I can do 10 pull-ups, hey, I'm happy with that. And then as far as squats, I've been doing lunge squats. Okay, that's not the same as regular squat. We're squatting body weight or regular weights. But I figure being able to do 20 on each leg, that's a pretty good workout. And if I can do that and maintain it, for me, that's a good minimum level of fitness. Okay, but that's the muscle aspect of it. But then there's also another aspect of fitness. The next type of exercise is cardio, and that's no big surprise there. And just to put that in perspective, I knew a little old lady, knew her my whole life. She passed not that long ago, and she was 103 years old, Miss Fisher. She was something and smart. And she used to say everybody needs to do something every day to make them breathe hard. Okay, for her, she liked to go hiking, except for a hike for her it could be 5 miles with heels, big ones. Okay, she was a firm believer and we need to be active and out doing something and get the heart pumping and the lungs working. And I can't say she's right or wrong. I just say she lived to be 103 years old and was in great health. So yeah, I think there was something to that, and I think it is important. And I talked about the strength part. All right, to start with, to build up some muscle mass, to try to maintain that as I get older. All right, what a problem with strength is that doesn't necessarily give us endurance. Endurance comes from doing things for long periods. All right, well, that's generally where we also get cardio as well. And good example of what I'm talking about. I remember as a teenager, I was doing a lot of weightlifting, and I was benching a few pounds. Well, me and a friend went fishing. It was the first time we'd been fishing that year. A little place we fished at a lot. And that particular place, we had to swim across a little small channel to get to an island, and then we fished off the island. Okay, the channel might have been 30 yards wide at 40. It wasn't much. And we'd carry our tackle with us and swim across. But halfway across it, my muscles just gave out. I was done. I didn't think I was going to make it those last few yards. Obviously I did, but I didn't think I was at the time. And that was just such a shock for me. I was the strongest I'd ever been, but I also had the least endurance. All right, so that's where we need to do something that we can sustain it for a long period of time to keep that endurance. Okay, and so anything that can get us breathing hard, get our lungs to working, but that we can do for an extended period of time. Walking is a great workout. Go walk 4 or 5 miles, a serious walk. Okay, bicycle, that's great. Running, obviously, but not a big fan of running just because it seems to be hard on the joints. I don't know of many runners that don't have joint problems. So there's a lot of different options. All right, just for myself, I'm thinking bicycle because I do have a bike that I like to hit some pretty big hills with it, and it keeps me doing something I'm at least seeing something different. There we go. Jump rope, that's actually pretty good. Matter of fact, I might just add that on the days I'm not going to be able to ride my bicycle due to bad weather or whatever. Okay, and yeah, that's important. I need to do that at least 2 or 3 times a week. And that's my plan. Calisthenics on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then something cardio on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. And the reason I say Sundays is that's just a nice, relaxing day to do something you enjoy. And I want to have at least one day where I've got that time to do something for an extended period of time. Okay, so that's the 2 types of exercise, but there's actually also a third. And now finally, and I don't even know what to call this group of exercises, we'll call this the general well-being exercises. That sounded good. Okay, this is the stuff that helps us maintain our flexibility, posture, our biomechanics. That's a good one, yeah. Okay, right now there's a lot of people having a lot of back problems, a lot of joint replacement surgeries, knees, hips, shoulders. Okay, a lot of those problems were caused from poor biomechanics. Your shoulder, if it's not moving correctly, it's probably going to wear out a lot quicker than if it is. Same with the knees. And I think what gets us on our health, besides nutrition, that's a big one, but let's say I stomped my right toe. Okay, I stomped it and I broke it or hurt it real bad. So now I'm limping and I'm favoring my left side. Okay, well now I'm not lined up properly. Now I'm putting too much stress on my left side and putting all my weight on it, and things are out of kilter. All right, that goes on for a couple months. And then suddenly my left knee started to hurt because I hadn't been using it right, putting too much weight on it. And okay, well my right toes quit hurting by this time, thankfully. So now my left knee's hurting, so I start favoring my right side. Now I'm moving differently and out of kilter on my right side. Well, a few months of that, now my hip starts hurting me. All right. One little thing starts causing problems. It affects something else, and then something else, and it's a domino effect. Okay, and for myself, I have a lot of posture problems. A lot of people don't think of posture as an issue. It is. For myself, my head is too far forward. Okay, and it's the result of me being over a computer way too much each day, but also past injury when I was younger. Okay, well, that causes issues for me. There's a lot of nerve endings right here. Okay, so at the end of a long trip, a lot of times I'll have double vision. Well, that's affecting the nerves that go to my eyes. I get some serious headaches right here, stress headaches. Okay, well, that's back to too much pressure from my head being too much forward, all that. Poor posture. Tinnitus, it can cause that. Well, poor posture also leads to a lot of back problems. Thankfully, I don't have that, but there's a lot of people that do, and that's some debilitating stuff. Okay, so we need to do exercises that help us maintain our joints, our posture. And keep in mind, with posture, all right, we're talking about the back and neck. Our brain controls everything in our body. Your heart rate is controlled by your brain. Your brain senses, okay, you're doing something, you need more oxygen. Heart needs to beat more to get oxygen to where it needs to go. Well, your brain's relying on nerves to send signals, tell it what's going on, and then it's sending all the signals back, telling everything what to do in our bodies. So our blood pressure is the result of our brain and those nerves, digestion, and so many of our functions. Right, well, if those nerves, they're coming out of our spine all throughout our body. If we're doing anything to mess up those connections, it's going to cause problems, stuff we don't even think about. Okay, well, for myself, one of the things I do, or did, I got to get back on it, is Pilates. Yeah. A lot of you don't know what Pilates are, or you think that, well, that's just something that was a fad for women to do back in the 90s or 2000s. Okay, a little more to Pilates than that. The way they came about, they were created by Dr. Pilates. And he came up with them to help recovering World War II vets, basically in rehab, to get over injuries and so forth. Well, then the OSS, they started using Pilates as part of their training for their people, and the OSS eventually became the CIA. So yeah, there's a lot more to Pilates than you might think. And the way I started on Pilates was my doctor sent me to do some rehab on some stuff to help with my posture. And basically how I think of Pilates is it's yoga with a purpose. Okay, so it's a lot of the same things you would do in yoga, but there's a purpose behind it. And Pilates generally focus on three things: strengthening the core, so abs, flexibility, and then there's a lot of little movements in Pilates, things that you really wouldn't even think of as exercise. They're so simple. But what they're supposed to do is strengthen the little muscles that we seldomly use around our joints. Okay, and think about our joints. They're just shoulder. It moves. It's just floating off in space up there. What a theory is, if you strengthen the little muscles around the shoulder joints or the hips or the knees, and then you got the big muscles there also, and you're strengthening tendons and ligaments also, keeping them flexible. If all of those muscles are strong and where they should be, then that's going to keep your shoulder and your joint where it should be, thus giving you good biomechanics and keeps things from wearing out. And it can help fix a lot of problems. And modern medicine's amazing, some of the things it can do. It's also, we'll just say I have a lot of issues with it. Okay, a lot of things doctors do that just don't make no sense. Our bodies are capable of healing themselves. And if you get a cut, all you gotta do is make sure it doesn't get infected, and your body will heal that right up. 6 months, you never even know you got cut. Well, there's certain things though we have to do to allow our bodies to heal itself. Modern medicine just doesn't seem to take that into account. All right, for instance, high blood pressure. You go to the doctor, oh, you got high blood pressure, here's some pills, you're cured. You're not cured, you're just taking pills for blood pressure, and that's what they want you on, is just general practitioner. That's really all they can do. Surgeons can cut and reconstruct, general practitioner, all they can do is prescribe medicine. All right, well, maybe there was a reason your blood pressure was high. Well, and there was. It's because the nerve going to your brain was telling your brain, hey, we ain't getting enough oxygen. You got to increase the flow of blood through here. And if you got narrow arteries, the only way to increase the flow of blood through narrow arteries is to increase the pressure. I say, yeah, your body is very intelligent. It's just we got to make sure we don't mess it up. All right, now if we're not going to do anything to fix our health, then yeah, the doctor prescribing pills, well, that's about all can be done. But if we're willing to do some things, there's a lot we can do to improve our health. So that's just my general thoughts on health and whatever it's worth. But I have had enough of bad experiences with, or enough health issues personally, just with all that I have going on, autoimmune issues and such, that these are some pretty valuable lessons I've learned. All right? And a lot of you younger people might think, oh, that's just old people stuff. It's not, because it's with younger people now, it's creating horrible posture. So many kids are like this all the time. The head hanging forward, the shoulders rounded over. Okay, that's not good. Well, all of us, we're all doing that now. We're all over computers. All right, and then a lot of us, our jobs can tend to create specific issues, just depending on what we do. Repetitive issues. Okay, and companies are doing a lot these days to minimize that, but it's still there. Okay, and our bodies will wear out if we don't take care of them, and they seem to be wearing out sooner and sooner and sooner for people now. Okay, so yeah, there is something to this, and anyway, that's what I'm working on for me, and yeah, I'm not about to go working out in front of a camera right now, but I am going to put up or shut up, and at the end of this year, I'm going to go through my full workout routine. You'll know real quick if I've stuck with it or not. Because at the moment, I said push-ups, pull-ups, and squats. Well, I'm doing more pushing and pulls than anything. There ain't much up to it. It's just pushes and pulls. Yeah, y'all going to know if I've been actually sticking with this year. Okay, and I'm hoping all of y'all find something that works for you. You know, we're all different. We all have different needs, and I think that's a big part of all of this. Is just figure out what do you need. Same with food. Okay, you know where you're at on your diet, and what foods do you need? And there's an old saying, "Let thy food be thy medicine." All right, it's ancient Greeks, and a good saying. Okay, what health issues do you have? What health issues are you potentially worried about off into the future? Okay, well, what foods can help with that? What exercises? All right, just some stuff to think about there. But okay, so that's the end of our little discipline series on exercise. God bless and have a great day.